Okay, round 3 of the Egg Cup, Viridia Aqua. Now this map I did enjoy. It is, I believe it is mixed base and high funds. It is tier 1 except Nell is allowed and Kanbai and Sensei is banned. So the only other CEOs on tier 1 that is allowed would be Eagle, Hawk, and Olaf. All three of them are stall CEOs, and well, I like spamming battlecopters, and I do like playing as Eagle because you get your superpower, you essentially win. And with Kanbai and Sensei banned, that means with the stall CEOs left, Eagle is the one that stalls the most, so I picked Eagle. I mean, as soon as I saw Eagle was allowed, of course I'm going to pick him. I like playing as Eagle. Well, more like I like stall strats. I like stalling. I'm a very passive player. I can play aggressive, but I don't play as well since I mostly play defensively. But I believe Eagle is the best choice for this map due to the power of the air units. You can fly over all these islands. You can fly over. Yeah, you can just fly over everything. Now, there are ports on this map which you can build naval units, but good luck chasing a battlecopter around with a cruiser. And if you build a battleship, my bomber, which is cheaper than a battleship, will just go after it. So, I went for the airport first because I want to build air units as soon as possible. Same story here on this side. My opponent to get the center properties instead of the airport to the left. He will get the airport eventually, but he chose to get it later, whereas I chose to get the airport as soon as possible. So my current plan is to take the center base. I built an artillery and a battlecopter here for that purpose. So just some more, he built an anti-air here, which is good on him because I was going to send my battlecopter there. He built a battlecopter of his own. And if he builds a battlecopter in the center, here's the amazing thing about my battlecopter. I could just send him to the top base instead and force him to build another anti-air there. And then if he builds an anti-air up there, I'll just redirect the battlecopter somewhere else. So just waste as much money, let my opponent waste as much money as possible. And because I am focusing on taking this base, I would suspect my opponent would also try to take my base. So I built an artillery here to play defensively. Again, I am a defensive and passive player. I can play aggressive, but I typically don't. So he's going for the properties. I think he's a little aggressive here, considering I'm the one who's supposed to be aggressive for this base. He built an anti-air up there, so I'm going to redirect my battlecopter towards the center. I built another battlecopter because I want unit count. Battlecopters increase your unit count without using a base. So of course I'm going to build one. I love battlecopters. And I said, if you want this property, prepare to pay an infantry for it. Now, some people might think it's 1,000 income for 1,000 income, and I could probably hold this city for a few turns before losing it, so I should capture it. I don't necessarily agree with that. You can capture and get some more income right now, but you're losing an infantry. In other words, you're losing your unit count. And it's not a good idea to lose unit count on a side you're supposed to be defending, on a side that you will be outnumbered, where they will try to rush your base. Because I will try to rush the base. So you see, I could do the same and begin capturing the property up there, but I choose not to because I know my infantry is going to die if it tries. Oh, be right back again. I suppose I should make a picture that says be right back, so if anyone's joining the stream suddenly and wonders why nothing is happening, they would know that I'm just away for a moment. But let's continue this. Yeah, as I was saying, I did not go for that top property because I know I will just lose an infantry in the process. And I don't want to lose my unit count, especially in a base which can be sandwiched by two base and two airports. So this is like a two base plus two airport against one base. That is a ridiculous unit count advantage or disadvantage. So I'm going to pressure that as much as possible. As for his base over here, I'm just going to ignore it for the most part until it becomes a problem. He built an anti-air, which if he builds a tank as well, one tank can probably hold that off. At least it will deter him from attacking. But he chose to capture it. Well, now the price will be paid in blood. I'm also not spending too much money on this base because I'd rather spend all my efforts on capturing the center base instead. I'll only defend if it's absolutely necessary. So I got a nice free kill on an infantry there. And if his battlecopter wants to move in, he'll get shot by my anti-air. This tank can't make it into battle yet, so this is just a free infantry for me. And my battlecopters go incredibly close to the base. I want that base. Just more units coming in from both sides. And I decide to pick off a free infantry. I don't expect to capture this, at least not yet. But I just want to force my opponent to commit to defending it. Now, if you have to choose between losing your properties or losing your units, just surrender the property. Because if you lose your units, you're losing the properties anyway. So it's better to just pull back, give up your property, because once you lose these units, like these are just infantry, right? But if you lose that infantry, who's going to protect your vehicles? And as I continue, if you lose your infantry, who will continue to fight my infantry? My infantry will remain unopposed, and if you want to kill it, you now have to use your vehicles. He does something similar. I built an anti-air here, just because he had a battlecopter nearby, but I will actually use it. And by that I mean he's trying to extend on this little island over here. If you notice, compare me over here. I'm not even trying to expand up there. My entire focus is on this base. So, just I have a goal and I'm focusing on that goal. Now the tank is getting a little too close to comfort. My anti-air is a little threatened, so of course I'm going to pull back here. I have killed one free infantry and that's all I needed to do. There's no reason to keep fighting. Focus down the anti-air because I want my battlecopters to reign supreme. Even canceling my capture for the chance to weaken his anti-air even more. I go for, I just kill off his tank because he can shoot one battlecopter, but I still got two more, plus another one coming. So of course I'm more than willing to trade one unit for one unit because I have a overwhelming superiority of unit numbers over here. If I can trade one for one, it's completely worth it. As for this tank over here, my tank was here just to deter his anti-air from attacking my units, and since he's not attacking my units, I don't have to worry about that. Just send another tank towards the center, focus all my efforts on taking that base. And of course I do have to build another tank so his anti-air wouldn't actually do anything. Yep, I got what I came for, now I'm pulling back. This artillery will cover that property for one more turn. And if you have to choose between losing units or losing your properties, I'm just going to give up my property. This infantry can capture my property very quickly, and I'm not going to do anything about it because I don't have to. I'm not obligated to protect my properties. Alright, so he's choosing to attack. I don't understand why he went for my battlecopter that's further away, because now this anti-air can be attacked by two tanks and is completely dead. If he attacked my other battlecopter from the top, then this would be the only tank that can reach it, and that anti-air would survive to at least damage a different battlecopter. Even and as I've said before, you're just throwing away these units. Well, you're not throwing it away. You are holding these properties a little longer, but it's not worth it, especially if you don't have the unit counts, because you will lose these properties anyway. And he has to build another anti-air because I have so many battlecopters. I built a fighter here last turn. I did not like that his battlecopters are getting close. And for a similar reason of the damage I was able to do here, I needed a permanent anti-air defense. Because if I lose this anti-air, his battlecopters will reign uncontested. So I need some permanent air defense against him, and that's why I built the fighter. It also puts his battlecopters in a position where they can't fight as well because they're scared and they want to be moved away. Still, time to pick off the remaining units and just begin capturing the properties. You see? These properties are lost anyway, and this time he doesn't have anything to defend his base. Whereas while I am losing these properties, I have a large infantry wall and an artillery to defend the base. In fact, I'm so confident I would take this base, I'm redirecting a tank up to bolster my defenses even further. Of course, this is high funds, so I can always expect a mega tank or a battleship to spawn and defend this base. So if I remember correctly, I built a bomber this turn. Yes, I did build a bomber this turn. So if he tries teching up, I would just use the bomber instead. And there's the battleship. Uh, I didn't expect a battleship. Well, I considered it, but I wasn't expecting it to actually happen. But it happened, and I have a bomber ready for it. Now this move did surprise me because he's putting his battlecopter in range of my anti-air just to shoot at an infantry. I don't exactly know why. Maybe he thought the battlecopter was going to die to my fighter anyway, and he thought to send it to do something before it dies. But now my fighter can do whatever it wants, and I just let my anti-air do the damage instead. So I continue getting rid of his defenses on his base. All of these properties are now mine because no one's defending them. And yeah, this fighter doesn't. doesn't have to stay because my anti-air killed the battlecopter. Now my fighter threatens all of these battlecopters over here. I'm well aware that my tank might die, but I thought it's fine because I have a battlecopter nearby and he doesn't have any air defense on that island. So, it's fine. My forces here are more than adequate to defend. If anything, he should be the one defending, like similar to what I'm doing over here. So I'm perfectly fine with what's going on the side islands. So long as I'm winning the center, I don't care what happens to the side. Well, I also don't want to lose the base, of course, but that's not gonna happen. I don't usually build mechs because they don't get boosted by Eagle Super, but since I'm defending, the low movement of mechs don't matter much. His battleship I noticed could target my infantry over here and my tank, so I'm gonna move my tank to the side and pull back my infantry some more. I do not want to lose my air defense just yet, so my anti-air is moving all the way down. And just more battlecopters because more unit count. Alright, he destroyed my tank. And at this point, as he was making his move, we treated this as a live game despite it being multi-day. That's why I'm so far ahead in the tournament. As of streaming this, I am the only person in round 6 to my knowledge. So, but we played this as if it's a live game, even though we had several days to do this. So I'm watching his move. I saw that he just killed the tank, and I thought, okay, maybe I can get my superpower next turn. I can throw my fighter at a battlecopter. If necessary, I'll even throw my anti-air against the tank because I can. My bomber can probably hit something expensive over here at the top, and it's fine if I do that because if I get my superpower, I can attack again. So I'm already preparing for my superpower. My opponent probably realizes that based on his movements, I will get a superpower, so he begins to attack and popped his normal power. He might have realized it sooner and tried to get a super, but once he decided that he's not getting the super, he just popped his normal power and began attacking. But at this point, it's too late. Uh, a mega tank. At this point, it's too late. I'm getting my superpower, and he couldn't do enough damage to stop me. He was unable to cripple me before I got my super. So this is one of the reasons why I believe Eagle against Hawk is an easier matchup for me than Eagle against Olaf, because Olaf would have already gotten Winter Fury, and I don't like fighting in Winter Fury, so I would wait till the winter is over, then launch my superpower, do a devastating attack, but then chances are I would do so much damage that Olaf can get a second Winter Fury and completely cripple my army for several turns. Speaking from experience here. So, but Hawk has a much longer superpower, and there is no winter. No winter? That means I'm free to attack, and I don't have to worry about another superpower coming in to cripple whatever I have left. So my superpower is now charged. I'm just planning to do as much damage with what I can as possible. I even attacked a mega tank to soften it up. And I know mechs don't get boosted from the superpower, but I wanted to empty my base so I can build another tank on it, so I can activate my lightning strike and get as much benefit from it as possible. Destroyed another battlecopter, destroyed his last battlecopter, and what I could have done here, I did a little bit of gambling. I thought I would be this 9 HP tank, might get lucky roll and kill this 8 HP infantry. So then my healthy tank here can attack the anti-air, so my fighter can still remain somewhat useful. Unfortunately, I did not get that roll. I could have sent my 2 HP infantry to suicide first and then send my 9 HP tank, but that didn't happen. And, well, taking a free shot with an artillery, bomber, 2 more battlecopters, and a tank on a mega tank, and that mega tank is pretty much dead. And I thought since I bombed that tank, his anti-air isn't going to do anything against my tank. And my tank, so therefore my tank is free to do whatever it wants over here. There's nothing left. Just in case, I also built another fighter because I noticed he has a fighter and I expect my fighter to be destroyed by the anti-air. Well, it's not going to be destroyed, but I also don't, it won't be enough to defend against his fighter is what I'm saying. So a second fighter is always nice. I I tried to get luck rolls here. I failed both luck rolls, but that's fine. Because the battle's already over. Once you get your super, it's over. So now, from what it looked like I was defending here, I'm now winning on every single front. It looked like I was defending, now I'm on the offense. It looks like I'm the one defending, now I'm on the offense. I'm winning on every single front. The only thing is that he has a battleship. That's the only thing that I am not ahead in, and even then my battlecopter and my bomber would eventually get around to finish the battleship. In other words, that battleship shot absolutely nothing and it's a complete waste. Because air units are just so much stronger on this map. And that's why I picked Eagle. Eagle was available, I pick. Uh, but yeah, the little mistakes over the course of the map, like losing your units on here, not applying as much pressure to my base, sending forces down here instead of sending them towards the center, these things do build up. If you want a quick battle, you want to concentrate your forces and focus on one front. If you evenly divide your forces, the game tends to stall out much longer, and that's when it advantages me, because Eagle is the king of stalling. If you let Eagle stall, he wins. And to be honest, I was playing pretty aggressively too. I focused everything on the center instead of trying to fight an even game, because I knew how much of an advantage 2 bases plus 2 airports against 1 base is. So that was my round 3 of the Egg Cup.